Oh my goodness. Watch out, y'all. It's on and popping. We are about to have a serious conversation about this whole team no sleep thing. And I called it the team no sleep debate. Some of you may be saying to yourself, oh, it ain't no debate for me. I know exactly where I stand on this, and I know exactly why I stand where I stand. And so, hey, that is what it is. So anyway, the only way to have a conversation about this is to be real, right? I don't know how to be any other way. But when it comes to team no sleep, I can be honest with you. Women have a tendency to be pro, oh, I'm gonna get my rest. Men have a tendency to be pro whatever it takes. And if that means I got to lose sleep, then that's just exactly what it's gonna be. And I happen to be more on the side of the men, the team no sleep. And so, and the reason why I'm bringing this up was because a queen in the in the community over in the Authentic Collective, I put a post up. I mean, she put a post up and asked, "What did we learn about 2020?" And I'm like, well, 2020 just reminded me that I got to live everything I say, see the best no matter what, create my own reality, do this, do this, do that. And then at the end, I put the hashtag team no sleep. And she put the comment, well, I know knowing you, you mean probably don't sleep on yourself, but I'm all about getting my rest. So I decided to put a post in the group and ask the question, how do you all feel about the whole ideal of no sleeping? And so what I'm getting ready to say is that at the end of the day, technically, neither one are wrong. You can be on either position, but your dream, hold up now, your dream better match your position. That's the part that I believe that many people miss. And so I've got to do this video because there are, and like I put on a post, I was curious to see what the women were going to say. Because some people will be like, oh, well, I don't want to make it seem like I don't practice self care. So I don't know if I want to put nothing on there. Or the other hand, I don't want to seem like I'm not serious about my business if I put this wrong answer up there. First of all, there's no right or wrongs. Everybody has the right to do their life the way they want to. Let me make sure that I put that out there. Even though I got a very strong, firm stance about how I feel about the self-care industry, I personally feel like it's an industry that is specifically targeting women. And it's about making money because I mean, hey, at the end of the day, that thing right there on my bike, that's my self-care. You know what I'm saying? It's not about pedicures, manicures, and saying I spent some money on myself. Eating properly throughout the day so that I have the energy to be able to make it through the day, that is self-care for me. And so a lot of people that, well, sleep is self-care too. Please understand this. So let's talk about what team no sleep means to me. A lot of people say, I did that before. I did that. I ain't talking about nobody in particular. I'm just talking about different things that I know. Well, when you're desperate to make money, and you got to really ask yourself, when I was no sleep, was I desperate to make money? Was I staying up all hours of the night just trying to make this plan work, make this business work, just get this product out there? Because as soon as I can start getting this product out there and I can start selling, then I can make some money. That you weren't even taking time to respect the process and respect the time that it takes for you to actually experience true product development, get your systems and stuff in order, then you were brutalizing yourself. You were putting extra time into the places that might didn't even need that extra layer of time because the only thing you were thinking about was hurrying up and getting this thing done so that you can get paid. If you team no sleep for that reason, you probably will burn out. But one of the things that I said to the sister when I was responding to her post, I said, my dream ain't letting me sleep. And a lot of people don't comprehend that. See, some people will say that they do, but maybe you don't know it unless I tell you what it means for me. So I have some things going on in my life right now that I have literally went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I have still woken up at some super duper early time. I'm like, come on now, why am I up at 4:30? But I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tail woke, like laying in bed and tell myself, no, I should stay asleep for just a little bit longer. And it's like, no, girl, get your butt up. And I have a divine thought. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to go type that in the book right now. I need to go put that in a course right now. Let me write this down so I don't forget it right now. That level of divine motivation where you are, or where you're constantly going, a lot of you don't even know what that is. What you have not, I'm not talking to everybody. Don't take this personal, but many of you have not tapped into the zone of genius where you cannot take your mind and you cannot turn it off. We listen to people who do this, but we don't believe that it's something that's natural for us. When you look at different actors and actresses that you like, they've been on set for many, many hours with no sleep. When you listen to artists like Lil Wayne and some people, they will tell you they will be in the studio and they will stay there and they will record and would go and go and go and go and not go to sleep. Now, I understand some of these people literally do induce that with drugs, but I'm talking about there are people that literally have developed the mechanism of dealing with sleep deprivation. How about your soldiers? How about your soldiers that want some sleep, but there's a war going on and they have to still be able to be up, ready and alert and on fire to go? See, it seems like it makes sense if there's a threat. But sometimes it doesn't have to be a threat. There has to be an intense need that has to be fulfilled. And so for me, I operate from a more masculine energy and I have a tendency to be the person that's team no sleep. But see, I've always thrived off of about 5 hours of sleep. I had somebody sit there and tell me, you need 8 hours. You can't, don't let nobody tell you you need 8 hours. A lot of people that I have been around and they are as old as 70 years old, got bodies that's banging, health that's good. They have always lived off of about 5 hours of sleep. Everybody is not built and wired the same. And so it's really not about you caring about what someone else believes. I call this team no sleep debate, but there is no debate. If you need to sleep, you sleep. But for some of us, sleeping is not always an option. As soon as we get ready to lay our head down, then there's a state of emergency that we need to deal with. Now, see, if you don't have, for instance, Martin Luther King level responsibilities, then you don't understand what I'm talking about. Because when the brother was finished teaching, when he decided that he wanted to be with his family and that he wanted to chill out, as soon as he laid his head down and somebody throwing, a brick through his window, or a bomb talking about, nigga, get out of here. Well, you wide awake now. And there'll be a time when you'll be able to rest, but it has been disrupted because of emergency situations. So some of you all are building a business and it's about the functionality. It's about the pace. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to allow my business to organically grow. And this is going to take its sweet time. And you allow it to take that time. Okay. Before you jump into anything else. Whereas some of us, we have a different level of vision and the route in which we're supposed to go there, we have the ability to do it. So, you're not going to, let's use working out. A person that wants to make sure that their body stays on point is not going to work out the same way a person that has the intention of making it to the Olympics. You're not. You both may be physically fit. This is why I say there's no right or wrong. The person that is working out for the Olympics should look at the person that's just making sure that they stay physically fit and say that you lazy, because at least they're taking care of their body and everything is sound. The person that is over here working just to stay fit shouldn't look at the person that's going to the Olympics saying you doing too much, because this person has a goal that supersedes theirs. And yeah, they're going to spend 4 years of working out just to win a 1 second race, a 2 minute, floor mat performance. And so that's why I'm saying when we talk about some of these things, and in this community, it's cool. It's cool because we just say where we stand. Ain't nobody disrespected anybody. But I'm putting this out there as one of the leaders in the community because some people may be warring with how they're naturally wired. And unfortunately, many women are naturally wired to just say, I got to get my rest, girl. I got to get my rest. I'm not wired like that. Even, and sometimes it is survival. But even when it's survival, when you've been in that place where you've had to stay up for hours on end to make things work, to drive out of town, to drive back home, to get back up, to take care of yourself because you're trying to figure it out. I've had to do some extreme things in order to be able just to survive. So now to have divine inspiration and to be motivated and inspired, and I'm not being taxed on. I don't have the pressure of doing what this company needs me to do just so that I can get this check to pay my bills. Now I am in a certain level of flow. And I don't know if you all know what it really looks like or feels like to transcend time. I mean, I know that some of these things that may seem, some of you, it's not even for you to understand. I'm going to tell you a brother that I really admire. His name is David Goggins, and he wrote this book called Can't Hurt Me. And this man ran on broken shins, broken toes. And he went through Navy SEAL training not once, not twice, but 3 times. And while his body was literally beaten up, you got crutches on just because you broke your big toe. This brother whole leg is jacked up and he's sitting there putting on compression socks and wrapping himself up and doing, he ran to qualify just to get into the Navy SEALs, or was, yeah, to get in the Navy. I think it was the Navy SEALs, so long to the point that he urinated and shitted on himself. Now, some of y'all might be like, oh my God, that's too much. But his goal and his reasoning for doing that, you have to read his book and you have to soak it in. But what he realized was that no matter how hurt he was, no matter how down he was, that he could do anything that he put his mind to. Now, you don't have to go to David Goggins level extreme examples, but some of you all do need to look at, well, if I pushed myself a little bit further, I would realize just how much more physically I am able to take or to tolerate. So if you are like, oh my God, I know that I'm supposed to do this big old thing, but then you still move at a rate of speed that's kind of like, yeah, well, I got time on my hands, then I challenge you to really look at what that vision is. If you're one of these people where you working really, really hard, but then you're like, yeah, but I just want to make a modest income, or I want to be comfortable, or I want to do this, then you need to question that too. Because you being team no sleep for mediocrity, which really is more, it means it's about the money, which means it's a different type of pressure. And so, yes, if you happen to watch this Kiki Boo, when I said no sleep, I meant no sleep. And people say, well, I don't do that. I get groggy and I can't concentrate and I start making mistakes and I start doing stuff. With some people, that's true. With some of us, that's not true. And if we reach that point to delirium, we stop and then we get up and we go and we do another day. And I'm one of those people where it's not always like that. Sometimes I take naps in the middle of the day. I'm like, okay, this is one of those days where I need to rest. But when I'm in that space and I can't shut off my brain, I can't shut off my brain. I don't know how many of you that are in here would actually be stuck living in your in-laws basement because you're trying to commute between after what happened with Harvey, that would write a book in 30 days and get everything in position to launch a podcast all simultaneously and did a podcast episode every single day for the first week while you launched your first high ticket boot camp, while you already had probably 5 one-to-one clients and about 11 people in a low ticket Facebook group. Some of you would not have even known how to focus or keep your eyes steady. But when I tell you that I would be in the group sometimes at midnight and we would be on fire and it was good, we was good. I had so much creativity flowing through me, I could not cut it off. And it seemed like the more I did, the more I thought to do. The more I did, the more I thought to do. Some of y'all remember that was with me back then. Remember that Renegade Holiday video, writing raps, doing all kind of stuff. And we did it. We did the doggone thing. And so that's why we have to make sure, especially for those of us that are coaches. So this is what I will close with. No matter what I'm saying right now, I do not impose my personal convictions on anyone. When I consult with a client, I want to know what's the vision, what are the expectations and a timeline. And then based on that, then we have to have a conversation about levels of maturity and make sure that you are really ready to do what it takes in order to get to that next level. Because you can't tell me that you want to Stella got her groove back body in less than 6 months, but then tell me that you still want to eat whatever the hell you want. You're going to have to do some extreme things. And so sometimes we're not paying attention to make sure that the goal matches the discipline. So that's the only thing that I say, even because and if you don't, I have found coaches and I've seen coaches try to do that with me. Oh my God, you need to slow down on gas. It's a marathon, not a sprint. Yeah, okay. Well, now with a coach that's like, oh, you want a fast-paced marathon? I got you. And it is turning me on and turning me up. Okay. So I love you guys. That's where I'm at on the team no sleep debate. There is no right or wrong. Just make sure you check your reasons for being either one in either project and then change accordingly. All right. Deuces.